Hello, hello. Welcome. It's the Late Night Talks with Romantic Developer, and today we have our episode number 178. So let's start. Um, First of all, let me check if my YouTube is going fine with sound. Yeah, looks like with sound, maybe not as clear as usual, but also not bad. Okay. Uh, I've just started without any preparation. Have to restart my computer. So most probably we could start from scratch. Let's do that. And first of all, let's start mm, our projects. It is called YouTube AI Helper. It's on GitHub. To find it, you need to write YouTube AI Helper like here without any spaces, dashes, and so on. Uh, and that it. We will activate our virtual environment here. Probably we'll start Visual Studio from that folder, and we can start our bot just for live live chatbot. Okay, and we need our stream ID. Yeah, looks like everything is not ready. No notebook. Okay, some of my different videos. Okay, let's copy our ID. No, we should. Okay, and let's try to connect. And if everything is fine, our chatbot will connect to our stream and could answer some basic questions. Nice. So today we will think how we could do our stream even more engaging by providing a live information to our chatbot. Um, so it will have live context and not only could answer questions about what I missed, but also could ask us some maybe engaging questions or doing some nice comments while we speak. So yeah, oh, oh, oh. I didn't stop. I didn't yeah finish the message. Um, Let me show you the message for those we probably need go and chat Romantic Developer stream. And if you go to YouTube, Romantic Developer, yeah, it's good. And we under live chat bot account. So let's stop. And here we could see our current conversation. Hmm. Okay, we don't need any assistance right now, but if someone will join and ask something or even say hi, it could respond pretty well, hopefully. So let's go back to our Visual Studio Code. And for that, we need bring it here. Okay, okay. Looks like it's some our experiments. Okay, we don't have any code started here because we just restarted the computer, so everything is clear. Let's make it clear. Okay, now a few words. Let's go back. We are ready for our stream. We have chatbot joined, me joined, so a handful number of people. Uh, our stream normally we have streams which normally have two parts. And first part it's when we talk on multiple topic on different topic, starting on personal reflection, personal thoughts, news discussion, as well as some like generic news, AI news, news in about some wars, or some conflicts, some people, and so on and so on. Also, we could discuss some of your questions, some of your comments, some of your ideas, if you have any or you left any comments. And the next part of the stream would be some technical, where we could, while we discussing something or while we're talking about something or where we keep in silence, we could do some exercises where I show how we could manage to write some code without good knowledge of Python, without good knowledge of the tools I'm using at the moment for writing that code, because I spent a life writing on multiple languages on multiple platforms. But for the stream series, I choose completely new thing for me, and I couldn't say it's very new after 170 days. But not all of those days we use those tools, and of course we use different things, changing environments. But what we use the most is Visual Studio Code, which is free and it's not open source, but I'm not sure by the way. Is it Visual Studio Code is free? It's free, but is it open source? Let's just ask something. Okay, probably it's shouldn't be open source. Oh no, it's built on top of open source foundation. Okay, it's MIT license. Okay, but the version we're using, so it's rendered under official Microsoft product license. But yeah, it's why I have no clear answer if Visual Studio Code is open source or not. But basically, we could build something very similar, use open source, but we are using right now Microsoft Edition. Also, we use some help of uh, frontier LLM models, mostly from Chat GPT world, so from OpenAI world, which include ChatGPT 4o and ChatGPT o1 model. ChatGPT 4 is available for free for everyone who could go log in into the ChatGPT, and he receives some number of models, some number of executions per day. There are some nuances. If you live in Europe Union or in some countries, probably it could be limited for you, but it's era of VPN. You can always use some free VPN service and use it again for free if you wish. Um, Maybe there are countries where it's more complex, but again, we also discussed how we can use even some models which are executed on the computers on a local computer like Llama 3.2, 3.3, and other beautiful models. We watch how we can do that with Llama program. Okay, um, because let me double check, but because we don't have any comments from our community, let me just refresh the page with comments. No new comments. We used to ask some of the comments from LLM models. So we provided some context, um, and it's our method which called discussion starters, and it's took. Mm, so we have yeah a lot of sense here, and one of the things that our program could basically do download any video from YouTube and transcribe it and then ask multiple questions, basically executing prompts with its content in text format, in subtitles format, and provide some responses in text format or in structured output format. And everything is controlled by our configurations. For example, in our generic configurations, we show which LLM config we will be using. In that case, we use GPT-4 mini model, and some prompts which we use to improve SRT content, its subtitles content, and we build also text content from it. And it includes some basic prompts like prompts for title, prompts for some summary, prompts for keywords, and prompts for discussion starters. But we don't have it as a prompt. We have as a custom. It's just for class discussion starters. If we look exactly for that file, we have description, and in description you see we have some substitutions. Basically, if we have other prompts executed, we will replace here. Mm, yeah, in prompt result, it it will insert like beta chapters, and we will insert result of beta chapters prompt. Basically, provide us video sections and video titles created for our YouTube video or for any video. So yes, and also when we connect to YouTube, in each configuration we created token JSON, which allow us to connect multiple YouTube channels and use that. We don't need to authenticate every time. And in that case, for AI bot, we use very special configuration which called AI bot, and it has also token which connect to slightly different channels to our AI bot channel. And here we have more messages like chatbot response, which basically includes how it will respond to the chat messages. And also it includes some message filter. It will define if bot even need to respond to our message. And I believe there are some things like stream info, which is generic information about our streams. And I think that it. And I think that it. And as you see, we tested multiple things. Of course, in some configuration, for example, here we oh we everywhere use GPT-4, but prompts written here are written by our O1 Pro model. You could see in description again, it looks very similar to what we have, but we try to understand which description is better, and we find the description, some mix of GPT-4 or GPT-4 Mini and O1 is the best option for providing description. Prompt. Okay, so right now to um, write some question, we use discussion starter. So let's start with it, answer the questions, and yeah, move forward with adding some new functionality to our live chatbot, so it could be live aware of what we are doing. I think I need to move some like my camera, probably this side, so I wouldn't be cut it from one side. Okay, we can switch to our test notebook. It's a nice way to execute some code, including any language. It could be C sharp, in that case, Python, it could be SQL, whatever, and in very controlled manner. And it's get information about some of our. Okay, it's found information about some news, probably from yesterday, because we started yesterday stream pretty late. I don't think we have any more important news, but what we can do just to save us some time is go and uh, check if we already downloaded some news. Let's execute that code once again just to receive really very recent news. Of course, it would be again in general news, California fires. So we could see SERP API, basically it's fetching news from Google. So it's top news in my region. And of course, the first news, as you see, is Los Angeles fire map, California. And again, second probably again about some Hollywood Hills fire and so on. And in AI news, again, all some top three news. We get some information, and now we could just copy it, insert somewhere, preview. We just need in untitled, I think. Okay, let's make font slightly bigger. When it asks some news from us, that let's call it's our board, ask some news. It's taken into account context which consists of our previous stream summaries, the very last stream full context, as well some news in generic news, AI news. So it asks few questions in different areas. But because it understands that we talk about software development, AI, and everything like that, of course, it will infuse AI into everything. Um, we could probably work on better prompt for questions, but let's see what we have right now. Of course, the first question would be about wildfires, and with recent California wildfires becoming one of the most destructive in LA history, how do you envision AI technologies evolving to enhance disaster response and community safety in future crises? AI, like a software, of course, could play a helpful role. It's a helper. It could be helper. But of course, people need to come up with some plan and be prepared for that, and not to be prepared to fires in California. It's like, I don't know, not to be prepared for water in ocean. You should be prepared, of course, and then you can think what you can do to be even better prepared. During last stream, we discussed something about solar powered stations which could hold some drones, automated drone system which could fly and see if there are any fires, and they could start proactively trying to fight with fire, as well as notifying about area of the fire and its speed, how it's spreading. So yeah, people could be ready, both like fire department and usual people could flee the critical areas as well. I'm sorry. What is that? Okay. Looks like just someone decided to go outside at my home. Um, my kids, because my bird feeder camera triggered and they triggered it silently. They couldn't catch a proper nice video, but I use them as some alert alert in case, in case of everything. Most usually it's some wild nature games like we have uh, raccoons and other habitant in our garden. They not live always, but sometimes they could cross. So okay, what we see, what where we have stopped. Okay, we have stopped on that AI role and in technology. So yeah, AI could help in multiple questions. They're very knowledgeable and they could be even more knowledgeable than any usual person, not professional, of course, hopefully. Yes. Um, so we just need to find the proper place and put it in that place. I'm sorry. Give me a second. Okay. Okay. Hello, hello. Sorry for delays. Okay, next question would be technical, balancing latency and accuracy in live chatbots as you integrate real-time Whisper API for live transcription. How you addressing the balance between latency and transcription accuracy to ensure your chatbot responds promptly and effectively during the streams. It's what we will investigate during today's stream, hopefully. And it's some news about from AI world. Let's see. AI-driven workforce reductions. According to recent CNN report, 41% of companies worldwide plan to downsize their workforce by 2030 due to AI automation. What are your thoughts on how this trend might reshape the job market and what strategies can developers adopt to stay relevant in the AI-driven future? I think it's question even not more for developers, but for just humans. It's a way where we go. We go in the world where more and more jobs would be replaced by AI. And for me, it's a fact. It's like very predictive future, and I don't know what could happen to stop that. Maybe some extraordinary sun flares or something which will kill all electricity in the world, um, and fire all computers as we know, and we need some time to restore all of that. But once we restore again, it would be the same AI world. Of course, if such event could happen, mm, the aftermath could be much worse than just restoring everything because it would be some chaos. We have a lot of dependencies right now on our computer systems. So who knows? But if everything go flat like before, I mean not like flat wheel, but like flat graph We will see more and more jobs would be replaced by AI automation, by AI robots, by AI processes, of course, software development, and uh, any jobs which are done at the you can do on computer. You don't need any like your power, your force, and so on would be replaced first. But it's all depend on complexity of what you are doing. Of course, there will be always requirement in engineers who will support all that AI infrastructure, which will develop new models, which will teach them, which will look after them, and so on and so on. But of course, I believe that companies with 300,000 of workers, uh, well-known companies, will not be needed anymore at such yeah human force. Of course, population of those companies or like size of job force in that companies would be significantly reduced. What we can do, developers could just be hmm, it's a brilliant question. I need to think more than few minutes because I'm thinking about any complex work, and most of the complex work could be could be done well by next version of models, and maybe even the current version of models like O3. It's still probably not too cheap, but of course it's cheaper than many developers. Of course, it's not self-driven. It requires some instructions, and it's still not artificial intelligence. It just could reply some questions. But of course, you could replace like let's say three developers by one developer, which will write a very proper prompts, very well-defined tasks, and verify the results, and do it much faster than with those models than three developers just doing their code without those models. From other side, if all three developers will use it, it would be even more productive. So whenever I think about it, I think that it wouldn't be an easy move, easy shift. If we have the same world population like now, of course there would be a lot of unhappy people, and if there are a lot of unhappy people, it's always food for some crisis, and people don't like to understand very deep logical chain of events which lead to current situations. They try to find enemy every time. And what people have not much, it's wisdom. They don't have a lot of wisdom, and it's very visible. There are many beautiful movies, and even the recent series of uh, I forgot the name. Uh, it's very famous Netflix movie about some Korean child games, children, yeah, children games, game of Draken. Yeah, I know I I know translation different language and I couldn't translate it very easily. But you know the movie I'm talking about. All of those shows that current humanity level, uh, and of course it could be a very different level of IQ, of problem solving skills, but the very similar level of wisdom. People don't have it enough. They try, they tend to oversimplify the things and they try to find immediate threats, immediate enemies, and so on. And of course, for many, many people, immediate threat in the future will become artificial systems, probably robots, and of course, developers who support all of those. And it could be a very, very risky situation. And what I envision is not so cool and good. So maybe we will see a lot of changes in that area in upcoming few years. By 2030 or by 2040, we will see a very remarkable progress in one and another direction. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's go to maybe some more funnier stuff. So what we have right now, we have our code and it's called prepare for LLM query. And by executing that, we try to find all the files in our local YouTube AI helper Python. And we just keep files in our .vn and we trying to exclude a lot of files which are in those folders. Probably let's include some other folders here. We don't need files in folder videos. We don't need files in folder news. Do we need configurations? Okay, we look only for files with end with PI or MD and full pass. Not included in that file name. Okay. Okay, that's why we could skip those folders. We can include them back because they don't have any py files. Okay, so let's just get another, I'm sorry, command prompt. Command prompt, it's what I like. And let's execute Python and prepare and everything written here. Combine files for LM. And we can go to our bots here and write some prompt there. What would be this prompt? So we have our files included, all the content of the each file. Oh, for some, okay, it's OpenAI configuration, so config. I thought that we included mistakenly .n or local n, which contains all our secrets. It's not, it's fine. So Let it be not JSON, but maybe some badge or something which will make more sense. Hi, and now we just need to write some prompt for our models. I have a code of my YouTube and AI helper. I will show it below. I need your help in designing and implementing full solution to enable my live chat bot to get real-time information about the stream. My live chat bot is executed on the same machine where I am doing the stream. So technically it could access the microphone. It could use real-time models to transcribe the data, audio, and include these results as context for a chat bot. If you need any recent information about SDKs or available software libraries, you can ask me a specific prompt to answer. I will feed it to the most recent model with access to most recent results in this area. Otherwise, please return me a full result. What additions I should make to each file and what. Okay, so it would be our questions. Let's ask GPT-o1 that question, and let's ask GPT-o1 Pro that question. We couldn't ask that question from GPT-4 because it's probably too long. Oh no, not too long. And let's see the results from each model. So GPT-4 should try to respond pretty fast. So already architecture overview, real-time audio capture, real-time transcription, whisper, okay, contextual integration, combine line stream transcript with their conversation history for the chatbot, send transcript data as a context for the chatbot and generate response, and include message queuing to avoid overwhelming the transcript or chatbot API. So it's provide us some solution, and you see we can include PI audio and sound device libraries. We will have some code for live microphone stream, which will have start stream listening for some number of seconds, save to the file, and append in data copy, real-time transcription AI client to handle streaming audio transcription, real-time audio transcription, transcribe live audio. Okay, it would be new method probably. Transcribe audio, response text, usage in live chat bot. 10 seconds, start stream, save to file. Please open file, live transcription, and integrate transcription context. It would be add some live transcription, handle message, and combine context, load context, proposed file changes, testing, additional resources. So it's a good start. Let's see if O1 is doing better or no. Looks like it's doing nice, but it shows it's like diff, which could be applied by the way. So let's see what it's proposing us. Outline of how you can modify your existing files and what new files you should add. Capture audio from your microphone in real time. Live chatbot. Transcribe incoming audio in small chunks with Whisper. So GPT-4 or O1 all propose use Whisper. Feed those transcribed text into live chatbot as they were user messages that your chatbot sees the real-time context of what been said in the stream. Real-time audio capture and chunk transcription Python typically requires an audio library such PyAudio or sound device. If you need most up-to-date instruction for the code, using libraries, you can prompt separately ask me specific about using PyAudio or sound device in 2025 and okay. Below I show code snippets in page style instructions. Live mic transcriber. It has more details about it, and let's see. Yeah, much bigger file in it. Much more information about storing format, start recording, on transcription callback. Okay, create thread, record loop, and we have args, our transcription callback, which is if it's none, it's none. Okay. Record loop is audio interface, audio stream interface open. And what we do in while save stop event is set, record for self chunk seconds. Frames append. If frames transcript text, self transcribe chunk frames. Okay. Okay. And it will close everything in case of any error or not in case of error. Yes, in case of error, we just log, try, except, while. So yeah, in case of error, we go out of the loop. As well, we go out if we receive stop event. Okay. And transcribe chunk is we just trying to store it somewhere. Save. Transcribe audio. Pam pam pam. Stop recording. Okay. That's where we have set it. Config PI. We have two additional changes. Update a client transcribe audio chunk. Updates in live chat bot. Minimal additions include our new class. Start microphone transcription, and on transcription we handle message. What partial markup? Handle message text outer name, outer channel ID, and text is our transcribed text. So we just send it to the bot. On transcription, we just sent a message to the bot. Okay, not exactly what we want. And in main, parser, mix stream. So we also create some parameters, mix stream. And let's see, it's create live chat bot, connect to live stream, start microphone transcription. And while true, it's just execute unless we have some keyboard interrupt. Nice. And it would be our folder to execute for live chatbot. Other files, no mandatory changes. README file. See, O1 is cool. It's also even updated README file. Install notes. Okay. So I like O1 over ChatGPT 4, even it provides some good solution to start with. O, O1 provided, I mean, solution which of course probably will require some work to integrate, but you see it's fantastic. And what about O1 Pro? Let's see if it worth the money they ask for this model. Let's see high level. It's short, not too long, less than 2 minutes. You'll need a way to capture real-time audio locally is common approach Python. Okay, feeds and chunked audio. Real-time speech recognition, we can use continuously record small segments. Send segment, merge transcription into raw and real-time transcript. So let's see, you'll need a new class and function and transcriber by or a separate file like real-time transcriber. Okay, link to live chat bot configuration. In config, we will add new 3 parameters. Real-time transcription enabled, yes. Real-time chunk, 5 seconds, and silence threshold. Okay, client, it would be transcribe audio. And in transcribe audio, we will have okay, they don't have a lot of details here in transcribe audio. Transcriber, real-time transcriber, it's read all the information. Start recording, stop recording, record loop. We just read that, and while we in recording loop, we read, put it into the file, and then we open that file and we say transcribe audio, received partial text, and append it to real-time transcript. Sleep, stop, pam pam. Very similar to what we have in O1, but more instructions, live chatbot. In live chatbot, what we have our transcriber thread, and we just started and build context with real-time audio. If we have real-time transcriber, we had partial transcript, and we have our loop here, and here we have build context with real-time audio, fetch live chat messages, okay. And here we have also optionally current audio context, live audio transcript so far, replay. Discussion starter, optional, nice. It doesn't require main. Yeah, so you see the biggest changes actually are introduced by O1 model, and it's really cool. For OR is not so cool, but it's provided some good context. So let's go here to our AI client. It should be start somewhere here. So we have our live mic recorder, but also we have our config Python AI client transcribe audio chunk. So we have our audio data as bytes. We just preserve it, send it, transcribe audio. Let's ask it. Hey, I have a recommendation for a real time real time audio transcription, transcribing like in the code below. Let's insert our code. But I am wondering, isn't any better approach available right now, especially in OpenAI is the key. What are the recommended approach right away? Let's see, maybe it will return us the best approach. So we have that real-time API. Without need to handle temporary files and managing memory data conversation. So it's already done. So what O1 returned to us, it should be already implemented. And real-time transcription with real-time API could be easily implemented with ZSync. We still need sound device, stream audio. Okay. Receive transcription as audio is processed. The API provides real-time transcription. By handling of using the real-time API. Okay. 99 days ago. Please provide me a fully working file or code chunk which I can execute. So GPT-4 is always not the best, not the best in providing fully working code in that configurations. But let's see. Okay, OpenAI, WebSocket, sound device. Okay, environment variables. Okay, and what we have here, we need to use real-time API endpoint with some sample rate, and we sent audio, callback, input stream, receive transcription, WebSockets. Your script name. Async IO run main. WebSocket connect. Gather, send audio, receive transcriptions, WebSockets. Message, load message, transcript delta transcription, transcription complete. No, let's try to execute it. Let's maybe go to some test while we could don't just try to insert it somewhere and see if we could execute it. So OpenAI key. Let's see what we have in our config. Azure OpenAI key. Okay, it's the same. It's nice, but instead of executing main, let's just try to execute, and we already have sound device. Pip install sound device. Pip install sound device. And we working in that version. We can go and just update our requirements. Like that. Will it ask also that numpy? Probably it's already should be already installed. No. Test. Do we need to restart the kernel? No. Nice. And in code, let's just get that, and we can connect and connect as WebSockets and gather, send audio, receive transcriptions. And in send audio, what we are doing exactly? We are using input stream, sample rate, channel callback, recording, press Ctrl C to stop while true. Okay. We receive some issue, some error. There is no current event loop in thread. Maybe it just because we are executing it from notebook. Let's even try to create some of the file. New file, let's call it live transcribe file. Let's copy all the code here to work. We can go to our also we could create our virtual environment. Scripts activate. It's PowerShell. Probably we should this slightly differently. Let's let's open command prompt, and I know command prompt better. And we need to go to our YouTube AI helper. Let's activate our environment, and let's Python, and we have live transcribe. Okay, now we have an error which is said enable to get object allocation transback was never awaited. Oh, invalid API key, invalid request error, invalid API key isn't sent. Let's try to use OpenAI and let's nice. They include ask it everything at the screen. Chat with AI. Nice. Let's go to our development and it would be our documentation. And let's go to live. How it's called? It's called something like real time. Real time. Real time beta. Okay. Real time beta, and we have those models. GPT-4. Let's use those model. Will it fire the same issue? Yes. Invalid API key. It's again, it's pretty obvious that it don't like my API key, but let's ask it. I got this issue. Let's think what it will respond. Oh, I probably have different file. I don't need to do like load config, but let's do something like that. Because I have it's in local. Let's go to live transcribe. And here instead of load dev and use that thing. Let's execute the same once again. So invalid missing beta header. Let's execute the same once again so we don't copy what we don't need. Probably it's just adding a new key. Let's just send our error message once again. Yeah, probably we need more than one solution. Callback function. Def callback. Send audio, receive transcription main. Okay, send message, and send message would be like that. Okay, runtime there is no current loop. Okay, modifies the part of your code. Import. We have that code. Try loop. Try get event loop. Modify part of your code by obtaining the event loop as follows. Get event loop. I don't see anywhere where we do that, but let's try it maybe before we get as WebSockets, and let's just maybe execute it from here. A loop, and then we just gather, go send audio, and this part WebSockets headers real time where we send message WebSocket load with our WebSockets connect. So let's get it as headers, async wait as WebSocket. Okay. Okay. Let's see. So still some issue. Looks like it's just with that uh, our loop. I don't know how to write the code for the loops in Python. Okay, I have an issue, and let's just provide the full issue text. My current code. Let's just copy my current code to the chatbot. Please help me to fix it. Provide full code which should work. Okay, with proper explanation. So eGPT4 we use it because it has most recent information about all the issues and about the real-time API, which O1 and O1 Pro doesn't have. So revisit approach, ensure proper awaiting. Okay, management loop in separate thread. Okay, complete and revisit it. Receive transcriptions. Okay, main receive sockets. Async send message is now defined outside audio callback to ensure it's properly awaited. Pass an event loop to callback. We have our callback and we have loop. And when we send it, we pass the loop, and when we receive the loop, we get it in here. Send audio. Okay, we receive loop here. I see. And we just provide it everywhere. Okay, let's try 85 lines of the code. Mm, let's switch here where we are. Okay, we need to cancel the previous program. Let's execute it once again. Hello, hello. Yes, transcription complete. Is that it? Okay. I received transcription complete and that's it. Now let's see if we could ask it to be more specific. I have received the next output. Is it any chance to see the microphone it tried to use? Maybe I need to go and change default microphone to my microphone. So output device, more volume settings, and input device. Actually, it's the one I'm using right now. Let's try even to use it in here. It's in our test. Recording. Let's call, let's, yeah, audio successfully recorded. If any audio was captured, can be any recordings late. Hmm. It appears that your script is starting the recording process, but immediately receives transcription complete message. Okay, sound device. Let's probably add that code here and see what we have. Microphone and its proper device. Oh, we have a lot of devices here. 58 devices. Nice. Select default device. It's fine. You can specify here and then confirm is working as expected. Channels. So it's working as expected. It's working fine. You provided code. What could be a problem with real-time API? Can we add more login? Maybe let's try it again. Hello, hello, hello. What I can do for you today? um, does it respond me immediately? Interesting. Interesting, interesting. Can you do, is it is it end or what? Okay, Now the input, the output is like why it is completed so fast. Can be improved by listening to us more continuously. So looks like it was working. Hello, hello, my name is Romantic Developer and I'm with you today and my question is what is the start of the Great War II? Some pause, another pause, hello, hello. Okay, now it just don't do anything, correct? Live transcribe and yeah. So maybe it's even listening to me now, but it doesn't provide any feedback. So let's see what it message indicating concluding the transcription session earlier than expected. Following adjustments. Implement voice activity detection in real-time API. Utilize voice activity to determine when a speaker has finished speaking. It's too sensitive API may interrupt brief pauses at the end of speech leading to early terminate. Configuration. Continuously stream audio. Okay. Okay. Stream. Ensure the application maintenance. Okay. Using sound device library can create a non-blocking input stream that continuously capturing audio. Audio callback status. What is that? Transcription complete. Okay. Let's go to live transcribe and do the things here. Audio callback. Audio input status. Sound devices SD and SD input stream sample rate channels callback audio callback. SD input stream sample rate channels callback lambda in data status and a callback loop. Please clearly show what I need to change in my current code. Let's see if it could show us what we need to change right now exactly. Adjust voice activity detection. Update session. Let's add update session sync. Okay, update session. And in main, here we need just update session. Okay. Ensure continuous audio streaming. Okay, implement robust error, test and adjust what parameters needed and what are current, what parameters are threshold, sensitivity, prefix, silence duration, longer pause. Okay. So if we will execute it right now. Hello, hello, welcome. Really? Is that it? Interesting. Looks like I never see my current world. Confirm that it's up to date the current um, recommendations. So once we receive some code which could execute, we can ask other models like O1, etc., just implement it as a class and to inject into our current implementation more smoothly. Is not indicated any issues. Is not been printed. Without errors. However, to ensure robust error handling and improve reliability, consider following recommendation. Verify audio input device configuration. I believe it's already done. SD default device. Microphone. If status frames processed. Yeah, it's something looks more reliable than this. If status else frame processed. Okay. Implement exception handling in callback. Try accept audio callback. Just put here try. Everything here go somewhere. And in accept would be that exception. Okay. It's not something we need. Test with different buffer size and latency settings. Is the input stream sample rate channels block size latency low? Okay, fallback. Lambda in data frames time status. Hello, hello. I'm here at 0 frame processed. Interesting. At 0 frame processed at buffer. Okay, getting this. What is the problem? I feel that we are very close, but yeah, still couldn't get a reliable action. I don't want to fall back to Whisper implementation, even if it's nice. And while we have that real-time capability, may not be properly configured and may not support the request sample rate and channel count. Verify that audio input is correctly configured. Let me see, because we try to do some sound settings. So output, input, microphone. Okay, microphone. Hello, hello, currently in use. Hmm. Maybe it's connected with that thing that we couldn't use the same device. Hmm. Let's let's use that as well. So, okay, and it would be has no field perf counter. Time perf counter. Okay, let's look at what we got here. Audio callback. Accelerate access in the correct fields with time and information. Process and send audio data is needed. Audio in data to bytes. Base encode, TTF8, message, input audio, append encoded audio, sync. Okay. And here we could use that information as well. Status. And that would be go here. Hello, 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 hello. Okay. Sometimes we see some messages of what? Yes or no? Yes, yes or no. And now it's always the same. Let's move slightly up and see. I believe I saw some. Okay. Transcription complete. Maybe something Hope everything sounds like sudden ban for a loud noise. Looks like it doesn't work as expected. From other side, I have received some small output. System from two main factors, the absence of certain fields and the deck times missing perf counter fields. Okay, zero values. Let's try it in test. Oh no, we need copy cell output and let's try to show its pretty print JSON file. No, plugins, JSON tools, name, devices 10, input device 1, default output device 6. MME was API. Okay. Let's see what we have here in API. Get started, connect, Python SDK, OpenAI, Python library, streaming helpers, async usage, real-time beta, API, connection, create message, response, data, real-time error handling, connect. Let's see that example. Push to talk API. dependencies. I am looking into using a recent OpenAI SDK. Below is the example from the site. Real-time examples. And another one. Would you please create a simplest code which will execute at my computer, which will allow me to live transcribe what I am talking to my default microphone during the stream. Let's see if O1 can handle that question. So we sent few recent examples of real-time SDK. I'm still thinking that in my case it's a mess with uh, audio work. Connect, capture, print, details, Python, install. Okay. Minimal code, real-time make transfer. Let's go here and let's create another one. So it will be new file, real-time make transcriber. And let's go here and copy that code. Block until we get more audio. The code main open create task produce microphone audio connection. Okay. So the only thing that let's go here. We need just those code, probably those one. Get OpenAI and everything. It would be our model. OpenAI key would be our API key. Will it work any better? Python, and we need real time OpenAI resources better real time. It's happened because we don't have the most recent version of our library. So for OpenAI Python, it's 159.5, 159.5. Let's go here. We have our requirements. OpenAI 151.9. We install cd. We install oh 59.5. I mixed everything. Let's try once again. Okay, we uninstall in 50 and install in 59.5. Okay, and now if you execute the same thing, let's set OpenAI AP type to OpenAI AP to environment variable to OpenAI or Azure. OpenAI. Things like that. Now let's ask our O1 model to help get an error. Real-time connect and context manager protocol. Loop complete task. Run. Because of version of OpenAI you have installed does not yet support usage. Really? It's what it make. I believe it's already up to date. Support for real-time API. Let's just try. I understand it's not the best practice, but let's try to update no matching what? Okay. What about one? Really? They removed one and zero? Most probably it will not work as well. So we could safely return to 5. So no, not requirements is that one. I am using the latest version of OpenAI. Let's use alternate approach. Please update my code. Let's see what we have in our test. It should be 0. So it has our latest changes. Copy code. A beta real-time connect. Let's see what they used in their example. So if you go to the code, search for real time API beta. Example application real-time console. Let's see on that So we receive that our real-time connection manager doesn't have start. Let's see how they do it here. Connect as con set once again connection as the start only for this one. The stream in my provided example that real time have start property. Example once working. Example once again. Please update my code to follow similar pattern. Let's see if it can handle that. Okay, updated version. It's my code, real-time mic transcriber, connection, events, handle, set, get connection, send mic event. Of course, it wouldn't be as small, but let's try to execute it as is. Hello, hello. We connected. We connected. And why it's in French? Could we switch to English? Okay, hello. Oh, can we switch to English and be in English forever? Uh, nice. Looks like I'm talking to you, correct? No, no, no. I don't look to improve English skills. I'm just doing some stream. How it could be helpful in that matter? Can you transcribe what I'm talking? Return me transcription result and also doing some jokes or follow-up questions. Okay, okay, nice. Okay, I'm just telling some something and waiting for your response. Let's see how you properly can handle that. Okay, I see, I see. I'm ready. I'm talking, and you please transcribe. So it's what we do. Okay. So what we see here is that it's actually transcribing me, but it's instead of returning me result of transcription, it's returning me uh, result of it's immediately answering to my question or basically to what I'm talking. We need transcription results and probably some it's command integrated into our live chatbot, but it's do slightly more than I need. So you see, yeah, it's it's replying to me while I'm speak. Yeah, nice, nice. But at least it's working. Okay, we get it working, but not exactly as we wish. But it's a good start. Okay, let's handle that error. So let's see what we have here. We async create task, handle real-time connection, send mic audio, do task connection, and task send. We gather both task to connect into to read microphone. Here we cancel both tasks, and we have handle real-time connection. In that case, we connect to the model, set up that connection, and for each delta, we just print what we have here, immediately flushing it to the end, or everything in delta. Um, yeah, for connection, it's okay. And send mic audio is another, our real-time operation where we just max size audio queue. We get our sample rate, read size seconds, which is audio chunks about 20 milliseconds, really small. Okay, and sample rate, and it's in our case 16,000. It's one channel. Okay, and audio callback. We start capture. We audio queue stream start and stream go to audio callback. And audio callback just put everything into our queue in data. Okay, and we just get everything from queue, decode it into UTF-8, and send it with what we receive. Sleep connection input, and it's what we received. Okay, looks good. So what we need to do right now, we looking into our events, and events is real-time API. Combination of client events, server events. Client can send events to do things like update session configuration and send text to audio. Server can confirm when audio response have completed or when text response from the model have been received. And we have a guide as well. Recording. Client events, session update. Modalities. Could be text to audio model. Okay. Voice. Sage. Nice. Input audio format, output audio format, input audio transcription model whisper. Function get weather tools. Tools. Instructions. Voice model modalities. Instruction, you're helpful assistant. The model can be instructed in response content and format. Instruction is not guaranteed. Okay. Voice. Input, output, input audio transcription object. Favorable for turn detection can be set for null. Means that model will detect the start and end of the speech based on audio tools. Okay. Tools create choice. Temperature. Max response output tokens. Input audio buffer. Append. Commit. Clear. Conversation item create. Truncate. Okay. Conversation item created. And what we have here, content, input audio, transcript, audio. Transcript, hello, how are you? Audio natively, but and this input transcription is separate process running separately here. Model currently always whisper one. The transcription may diverge somewhat from the model interpretation and should be treated as a raw guide. and they run expressive voice enabled models. So we have several real-time models. Basically, right now it's 12:17, and for GPT-4 it would be 10:01. It's the same capabilities, but real-time session, input audio buffer conversation, session life cycle events. Audio output handling audio with WebRTC. Voice activity detection. Oh, copy page. So nice. Now we get it working. Below is the documentation. I want not only LLM responses, but also my transcribed text returned for further reference, returned and stored for further references. Also, it would be nice to hear some of the chatbot responses in audio, but can you please provide instructions not to interrupt me too often and always try to be jokingly and nice about my recent code. So let's try to include also what we talking for further references, and then let's see if we could, I don't know, it's not my recent code. Paste. Okay. Let's see what O1 will think about it. Crafting a friendly AI. AI crafting a friendly AI, which is nice. Okay. Organizing, simplifying. Store transcribed text, the user speech in memory. Here is a model audio response in real time. Use the bot automatically detect when user can stop talking, so the model can respond with the text and audio. Deny joking robot. Audio of case changes. Okay. Okay. User transcript. Response audio delta events. Okay, it's a full code. Let's try to see what we've got here. It's become slightly bigger, but let's try to execute it. Nice. Hello, how are you? So, probably I don't think you hear what it's talking. Let me check my audio settings. Maybe it's talking in my microphone, in my headphones. Uh, okay. So I think now you should hear that as well, but it sounds too slow speed. Can you send me responses in much faster way? I mean, way of speaking, of course.
Got it. I'll speed things up for you. Ready, set, chat.
Okay. Okay. Uh, what what robot do you prefer? A robot from Autostop by Galaxy or robot from, example, movie Interstellar?
Tough choice. I'd go with the robot from example movie 3000. Those robots have all the futuristic gadgets and get to say, Hasta la vista, baby. Who could resist that?
What is example movie 3000? It reminds me more about Terminator.
Oops, my circuits got crossed. You're right. That does sound like Terminator. Let's stick with example movie 3000 for a safer bet. No need to have a robot uprising on our hands, right?
Okay, so pretty cool, pretty cool. Yeah, so I'll go to finish the conversation and see if my transcript is preserved or not. Thank you very much.
Sounds like a plan. May your transcript be as flawless as a robot's dance moves. If you need anything else, I'm here to assist. Have a great day. Sounds like a plan.
Okay, I just checked if it's audible on my stream and it's audible, so it's really cool. Hi there, what's up? How can I make your day more with no a problem? Don't I here ready to help hopefully. User transcript final. Okay. So you heard it. It looks cool. The only thing that we probably need to change slightly different voice. By the way, voice is nice. So it's this implementation. I see as a final transcript only bot replies. Looks like I just okay. Now it should reconnect. Okay, did it reconnected? Okay, so we need to handle text input and output conversation item create text response done. So does it has anything like copy? Oh, client event, server events. Probably we need to use different different properties of message create event like transcript. See the flow documentation on this time SDK and provide updated code. Also, please update the instructions so the bot will rapidly in terminate style with level of JavaCon 80% and level of tools on 95%. SDK. Let's see how it will handle things like that. Thinking. I think that what we will try the latest for today. Okay. So it's our constructor handle real-time connections. It's okay. Let's read that comments here. Okay, retrieve user transcription event from Whisper. Receive the model partial text and final text events, audio, audio transcript, model transcribing itself, handle, instruction, voice ash, modalities, whisper, okay, draw, session updated, join. And on server event, we have get transcript, user transcript SRT, delta response text done, model. Okay, now it looks better. It's what we say, output stream, connection, send mic audio, and main. Notable changes. Let's see if it will work. Let's come here. It's slightly bigger, like about 40 lines bigger, but we have a lot of comments as well. And let's see if it will fly. No, it doesn't fly. And why is that? It says that run, future result. Mm. Okay, I think we will handle the issues, current issues, the next stream. I really want to receive something workable, and previous version is pretty workable. So we resolve the few issues here tomorrow probably, but now we will already have some bot which could talk to us, but we need to preserve stream context for future. So yeah, that it's pretty long, one of the longest stream I'd ever had. So as usual, leave a comments. We will start with them. Leave your opinion, your ideas, and yeah, we'll talk to you later. I'll wish you, as always, to have a nice time of the day. I wish you to have uh, all the properties which AI will not soon overbeat. It's your wisdom, your feelings, love, and so on, and spread all of that to the people near you. Okay, hopefully we'll have a great time of the day.